Bagus. I was just reading the news again about the 2004 Aceh tsunami.
Yeah, Ilman, I can never forget that event image when over 200,000 people lost their life. Even now, I still feel sad whatever I think about it.
True, I was still a kid back then, but I vividly remember how the news dominated the TV. Houses were destroyed, roads were covered with debris, and many people lost their family. I can imagine what it must have felt to be in their shoes.
I know what really moved was the story of the survivors. Some lost their entire family and others hardly or harmed. It really break my heart.
Yes, I remember one story about a mother who lost their of her children at once. She talked about how she could only hold one child as the waves came, but couldn't save the others. It made me realize how fragile our lives are.
I even heard that story too. Tsunami did just destroy building but also live and hope. I feel their sympathy for those who had to rebuild their life from scratch.
You know, I think sympathy alone was enough at the time. People from all over the world came to help, providing food, medicine, and rebuilding Aceh. It was one of the most incredible example of humanitarian solidarity.
Absolutely, I remember many countries and the rescue and doctor. There were even people who stay in Aceh for years to help with the reconstruction process. It was truly extraordinary, but I think the emotional wound of victims were harder to heal.
You're right, trauma like the doesn't go away easily. I once read that many victims had trouble sleeping or had nightmare for years after the event. Children also needed psychological support to recover.
Yes, I've been also heard about organizations that focus on providing psychological counseling, especially for children. This shows that our sympathy must also be translated into long-term action, not just when a disaster happens.
I agree, but I'm also curious, Bagus. How can we show sympathy for people we don't directly know? Sometimes I feel confused about what I can do to make them feel support.
I think sympathy can be shown in many ways. For instance, we can help through donation or share information on how others can assist. We can also pray for them even now that those who survive continue to be strong.
Yes, prayers is simple but deeply meaningful form of sympathy. But I also think there's something we can learn from this event. For example, how important it is to care for the environment and raise awareness about disaster mitigation.
That's crucial. Many people weren't prepared to face such a massive disaster after the Aceh tsunami. We learned a lot about the importance of early warning system and education people about evacuation procedure. So your sympathy can also be released by helping communities become better prepared for future disaster.
Exactly. I feel that sympathy isn't just about feeling sorry, but about how we can learn from their experience to prevent similar events in the future.
Exactly, Helman. I also feel that important to keep reminding people about this tragedy. We must never forget the struggle of the victim and how we all came together at the time.
Okay, this time I will explain about the present perfect tense. What present perfect tense? Present perfect tense is a sentence pattern with a change in verb tense used to express a past action or event that still continues today. Present perfect tense used for express an event that has happened or has been done. talking about experience but not specifically. Express an achievement or result, and express something that happened since a time in the past that is still related to the present. The formula: positive sentence, subject plus has or have plus verb 3 plus complement. Negative sentence: subject plus have or has plus not plus verb 3 plus complement. We can shorten have not to haven't, has not to hasn't. Interrogative sentence: have or has plus subject plus verb 3 plus complement. If subject she, he, it, to be has, and we can shorten it to she's, his, its. If subject I, we, they, you, to be is, have, and we can shorten it to I've, we've, they've, you've. For the example, positive sentence: we have lived in Jakarta for 10 years. We can shorten it to we've lived in Jakarta for 10 years. Negative sentence: we have not lived in Jakarta for 10 years. We can shorten it to we haven't lived in Jakarta for 10 years. Interrogative sentence: have we lived in Jakarta for 10 years? The answer is yes, we have, or no, we haven't. For next example, positive sentence: he has written any letters yet, and we can shorten it to he's written any letters yet. Negative sentence: he has not written any letters yet. We can shorten it to he hasn't written any letters yet. Interrogative sentence: has he written any letters yet? The answer is yes, he has, or no, he hasn't. That's all for my presentation on the present perfect tense. Thank you for watching and see you.